ISPU, I shouldn't actually call it an organization, because it's truly an institution. It grew from being an organization to a true institution with everything that takes to make sure that there is the capacity and the infrastructure to ensure that it is a strong institution that can stay forever.
We are the only think tank that's focused on producing work on the American Muslim community. And we're increasingly being recognized for that, not only in Washington, D.C., but around the country.
The first time I met Shireen and she invited me to do this, in my capacity at the mayor's office, everything gets vetted at least 12 times. Vetted, i.e. it goes through a lot of lawyers to make sure that anyone who is doing anything is okay. And so, of course, I did my first layer and found amazing work. And then, of course, as it went through the number of lawyers in the city of New York, the number of emails that I got back saying, wow, what an amazing organization. Thanks for sharing this with us. This is great. So your work is really transforming people's opinions, thoughts, and is really making waves in places that we yet to learn about.
And remember, we're raising our future leaders. Our future leaders are going to be in need of institutions like the ISPU, and they're going to be members, and they're going to be contributing to the research and so forth, and in many aspects contributing to the many organizations that exist in this country. But that's how we're going to get our cause to be heard and to be known, and we're going to get the truth out instead of us being detained or disdained by the wrong information and the wrong knowledge and the ignorance. We have to speak up, we have to talk about it, we have to support what we say with data.
Immigration is a great thing. We all have that story. We come from that perspective. It is the very story of this country as told in this building, but as told in what we know, whether it is, as the gentleman who spoke about the invocation, whether it's the words of Roosevelt or the words of Obama, this is a nation of immigrants. And it will only be a better nation when we fundamentally realize that we have got to embrace who we are as a people and as a country and build from that perspective. What you need to realize is that this entire community post 9/11 in my city, in our city, has been demonized. And you were the one person who stood up for them, who stood up for their ability to be Americans and to be part of the fabric of this city. And as a result of that, you gave them the confidence to come together. And they came together. And they organized in a way to ask for something that mattered to them. It's called integration. You have helped this immigrant community and this community of Americans feel like Americans, to feel empowered enough to come ask for it. And I think what you say to them is how much you recognize that. You don't have to answer their question about Muslim school holidays. We can do that another day. But today, you acknowledge them for who they are. We can't keep talking to each other because we know what our arguments are. We know how to convince each other. We have to really take the time to step out of those comfortable spaces and start engaging in what could very well be a debate, but make it a discussion in the communities that aren't ready to hear us, because it's too easy to stay in the same place. And now more than ever, we have to engage in those conversations. And so whether it's with your elected leaders, you have to make sure that you get in front of them over and over again. For those of you that have young children, it's an incredible opportunity for us to think about ways to infuse our young brilliance and the energy that we have in government, because people are making decisions about our future as I talk to you, and we are not at the table. And so how do we continue to build on the opportunities that we can have? We have to be at those tables, because whatever you need to do, very smartly start putting your community in places where their voices will be heard. And the relationships will develop, because that's the only way in 5 to 10 years from now where we will be part of the decision making, and that's when we will shift the discourse and change the future of our community.